Visión Comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. 3 billion bolivars have been paid by the government to maintain the student passenger discount program. Government and opposition acknowledge that the political dialogue progresses towards a process of negotiations. Saudi Arabia calls for a consensus in the OPEC to recover the oil prices. Venezuela's Minister of Transport and Public Works, Ricardo Molina, informed that the subsidy for the student passenger discounts will be maintained after students and transporters were making reference of an alleged plan to eliminate them. Quote, "The discount for student passengers has not been eliminated, nor will it be. This is a responsible government that protects the students and workers of transportation," close quote, assured Molina. Molina explained that the workshops with the transport sector will continue, and in them they review a method to seek to guarantee greater efficiency and responsibility in the service for students. The government will honor this week the commitments with a direct payment for the subsidy of the student passenger discount to transporters of the state of Zulia, Cojedes, Amazonas, Delta Macuro, Monagas, and Apure for a total amount of 217,335,000 bolivars. The government has paid 2,945,000,000 bolivars to 17 states of the country and the district capitals. One municipality in the Venezuelan Andean region was declared an emergency after the strong rains that hit the zone during the weekend. The governor of Mérida, Alexis Ramirez, confirmed on Monday morning that the town of Timotes, located in the municipality of Miranda, had been declared an emergency. The local authorities did not register any human loss after the rain, but a large amount of homes were destroyed and material losses still haven't been calculated. The affected families were moved to improvised shelters in sport facilities, confirmed Civil Protection. The national government activated a team for immediate integral assistance. Saudi Arabia's Minister of Energy, Khalid Al-Falih, called for the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries to achieve a consensus during the next ordinary meeting in Vienna to stabilize the crude oil market. It is imperative for the OPEC countries to reach a consensus and agree an efficient mechanism to activate the historical agreement achieved at the end of September in Algiers, said Khalid Al-Falih. On September 28, the member countries of the OPEC reached an agreement in Algiers to limit the joint production of petroleum in 740,000 barrels per day, establishing a ceiling of 33 million barrels per day. This agreement, which would be the first since 2008, must be signed during the next ordinary meeting of the group, which will take place in the Austrian capital on November 30th.
Venezuela in the news.
The Democratic Unity Opposition Party coalition, known by its initials in Spanish, MUD, acknowledged that in Venezuela there is a boycott that hits the country's economy. The coalition of the opposition political parties did not identify the groups that boycott the Venezuelan economy, but committed themselves to work with the national government to solve the situation. Before initiating the political dialogue between the government and the opposition, these sectors refused to the possibility of boycott and of what the government has labeled as an economic war. The MUD acknowledged that the dialogue could generate a political turn and achieve a change from a scenario of conflicts to one of agreements. This position coincides with the one of the government that brought forward the possibility of a process of practical negotiations. A criminal group that seeks to overthrow the national government took over one of the facilities of the University of Mérida and also of 2 buses which later were destroyed, confirmed the police. The report confirmed that one of the buses was set on fire by this group identified with the Venezuelan right wing. The attacks were generated hours after the opposition political party Voluntad Popular called the people to go out to the streets and protest against the national government. Voluntad Popular and other violent groups do not accept the dialogue initiated by the government with sectors of the opposition, with the participation of the UNASUR and the Vatican.
News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. 3 billion bolivars have been paid by the government to maintain the student passenger discount program. Government and opposition acknowledge that the political dialogue progresses towards a process of negotiations. Saudi Arabia calls for a consensus in the OPEC to recover the oil prices.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Misión Comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.